think there's a lot of hype amongst the people that are watching this. I know you guys are there cheering for your favorite streamers right now, but along with me, there are two partners in crime that I have, and those are going to be the casters that are going to be making the matches more exciting. Please welcome Icy Baby and the Experiment. How are you guys doing?
Feeling good. Namaste. To see what we are going to be having for today here, because this is going to be the first ever tournament that's going to be coming up. And Johnny, XP, you guys are the coolest guy here, and it's a pleasure to be with you guys. Especially, we've kind of known each other throughout the years here. Finally, getting to work on a second, a big launch party, and we have so many people watching as well. I'm getting pumped for this year. XP, what about you?
It is amazing. I mean, it's an amazing feeling to be here at the launch party. And of course, it's exciting. It's an exciting new game. I wonder what it's going to be about. But anyway, everyone is ready. As you did mention, there are quite a few people watching. Welcome, one and all. And I hope you all have a good time because we are ready. We are excited. And I wonder what's going to happen today, Johnny.
I mean, we are going to have a good time for sure. I mean, as we've been thinking, you are wondering as well what is going to happen. So we have streamers with their teams already all set for action, and they're going to be stepping into this battleground, going at it, taking each other down. And at the end, there is a prize money as well. There's a prize pool that we have for these guys that's going to be distributed amongst the winners. But we're going to talk about that as we move forward with the show. But for now, I mean, it is a really exciting day because, I mean, we have been waiting for this to begin, and the vision that was there with us it's coming into reality. It's starting to bring itself into existence right now. But with that, let's talk about the streamers that are there with their teams and the squads right in front of us right now.
That's
a lot of big names on your screen right now.
Yeah, I agree here. And to start things off, we have Team Dynamo, Team Mortal, Maxturn, Gatak, Snacks, God Nixon, Kronten, Shreeman, and also Guru going to be playing with you guys here. And, these are very, very big names here. Even for me, I'm across the other globe as well. Pretty much seeing these names here just puts me in the spot where, hey, are we expecting a fun match or are we expecting some serious gameplay coming up?
With the caliber of players that we have on our screen right now, we can definitely expect a lot of fun because, all these boys, they love messing around in the game. But I do believe things are going to get heated up as we do have a few more teams that are going to be on our screen right now. There you have it. We're going to be joined by Team Jonathan, of course, the team that everyone is going to be looking out for. Team Alpha, Team Antaryami, Clash Universe is going to be coming in here with his team, as is Team Songwon. And let me just say one thing. I do love that artwork over there. I love the fact that he's a king with the crown on his head. And of course, K18 Classified YT Ronak is going to be coming in with a team of his own, as is Bandukbaz. So, Johnny, I mean, we have a lot of big names over here. And you did kind of mention that, they are going to be battling it out for a little bit of a prize pool. But I do believe more than that, there's a lot of ego and there's a lot of bragging rights on the line right now.
I mean, definitely, as you mentioned, these are the big names, the biggest that the Indian esports has to offer from the streaming scene as well. And there's going to be an ego battle, also considering that a lot of them are friends, really good friends, and they're going to be playing on opposite teams. In fact, leading those opposite teams, being the captains right there. It's going to be an interesting collision, but let's talk about the schedule. Let's talk about the maps that these guys are going to face on.
Yep, speaking of which here, for the matches today here, we're going to be playing 3 maps in total. And on top of that, a special pan fight segment where all the captains are going to be, kind of battling it out in a melee fight here. And that's going to be an individual tournament for the captains. And I'm looking forward towards the last segment here. So, of course, we are playing in towards Erangel, Miramar, Sandhawk, and then heading into the final match for today, the pan fights. That's the one I'm actually looking forward to. XP, what are your thoughts on this?
Now, all right, IC is looking forward to the pan fights, as we all are, because it's going to be something new and interesting. But I do want to ask you a question. Now, we might have seen maps similar to this in the past somewhere, in the years or whatever. But what do you expect from each of these maps, and which ones are going to be your favorites? What are you looking out for? Let me start off with you, Johnny. Which is your go-to map?
It has to be Wrangle. Has always been the classic on the PC counterpart, and is always really exciting to watch. But on the other side, there's the sort of paced action that's there, and Sandhawk. So I'm sort of split between the two. But I know what you like, XP.
Well, I think you pretty much are going to say something about sniping or something. So Miramar is going to be my go-to map over here. But I do believe since the schedule is on our screens right now, might have an idea as to
Yeah.
what all this fighting is going to be about, Johnny.
Yeah, we've mentioned this a few times already. The prize money that's there, a grand total of 6 lakh rupees on the line for all these streamers, with only the top three, as far as the 3 matches today and 3 matches are considered for tomorrow. The top three will be getting the prize money, the major chunk of the purse. In fact, almost entirely the biggest chunk of the purse. Then we have $20,000 for the pan fight, 10,000 per pan fight. So we have 2 pan fights, 10,000 will be handed out today and 10,000 tomorrow. That's also going to be exciting. And as we mentioned, it's the captains that are only going to be present in the pan fight matches. It's going to be that one person who'll be getting that prize money for himself and maybe share a little bit with the team.
I like the fact that as far as the prize pool goes, it's like that typical podium finish, right? It's going to be 1, 2, or 3. There's no fourth. There's no fifth. I mean, the rest of them can walk away with participation prizes. And, the fact that they know that, all right, hey, we were part of this amazing launch party. But of course, it's only going to be those first 3 positions that walk away with all this moolah. And the question is, how do we decide who walks away with what?
Well, it's quite easy. We do that by giving them points in every single match that they play, and point systems. The scoring system is
points, 6 plays 4 points, 7 plays 2 points, but on 8 to all the way down to the 12th place, it's going to be having 1 point in total, and anything below that is going to be getting no points whatsoever. And of course, this is pretty much the points is going to be calculated every single map. So this is going to be an interesting one. I'm looking forward to see what kind of tactical plays are we expecting. But from yesterday's ride on here, we did see a couple of aggressive teams. I would say a very tactical team. I'm gonna give a little bit of names here. One of those teams is gonna be Team Maxter, who kind of won their unofficial match yesterday, which looks pretty good as well. And I'm looking forward to see whether or not can they pull it off as well. But on the contrary, we did see a couple of content creators creating some sort of I would say, mimicry of some action movie in this regard. So I'm looking forward to whether or not are they gonna do it, or are we just gonna full blown watch a full professional game from the get go here.
I mean, at the end, it is about having fun. It is about entertaining the lads that are watching online. But as you mentioned, the tacticality is going to be there. The competitive spirit is going to be there between these players. Talking about that competitive spirit, I mean, recently, Team Mortal, that's the lineup that's going to be representing Team Mortal. They have announced that they are going to be also, the same lineup is going to be picking up the competitive banner for the squad when the competitive scene is introduced. So I believe this is sort of going to be a practice session for them, a practice run before they start fighting or in any major tournaments that happen in the future. Like try and scout the opponent, try and take on the action.
Johnny, I gotta cut you right there, man. Johnny, man. Like, why are you giving them the hint so quickly, man? Come on, don't tell the whole world that Team Mortal is having a professional esports team out of nowhere, man. Come on, man.
I was going to say that it kind of looks like it isn't just a launch party for this amazing game, Battlegrounds Mobile India, but looks like it's a launch party for. Well, you did kind of let the cat slip out of the bag now, so I guess the secret is out there.
No, it's I don't know, dude. It's not true. It's lying, man. He's lying.
The audience is intelligent. Let me just tell you one thing. Don't be underestimating them. These boys and girls, they already know what's what. But yeah, I mean, what are you talking about, Johnny? The game just came out. How can we already have an esports lineup ready for something that we don't even know about? I mean, This is what I think. The premise of this game is it's kind of like a battle royale. So I'm going to be expecting there's like a circle of death or something that's going to be shrinking ever so close every once in a while, and people are going to have to scramble, and I think the last man or the last team standing wins. Is that kind of right?
Yeah, I think I kind of agree with XP as well, because I've never played this game in my life, and it's something that I'm looking forward to watch as well, because I want to learn something new. What's so special about this game? Is this going to be like an amazing one here? And it seems like there are a lot of people supporting the game in general. So I'm looking forward to see how it all goes down, because everyone has been talking about Battlegrounds Mobile for a very long time.
That is the beauty of the content creators that are going to be participating in this tournament today. They have such amazing pull and they have such loyal, audiences out there that it doesn't matter whatever game they pick. It's a new game. It's BG. They're like, wait a second, what is BGMI? It's all right. My boy's playing it. So they are going to come and watch, and you never know. Maybe this might just be a start of a new phase in our country where everyone is going to be glued to their mobile phones and everyone is going to be doing just one thing: playing BGMI. I think it's a possibility.
It is a possibility, and let me tell you, this is definitely a start of a new era, a start of something big right here. That is there. As you mentioned, the streamers are there, the content creators are there, mixed with a lot of professional players right now. And as these guys step into the Battlegrounds Mobile India's game today, they're going to be introducing something new to the audience, just bringing it to their attention. And you guys were talking about a lot of things, and I have to say, everything will be revealed in just the right time, just the right moment. Everything's going to be out there, but you guys have to wait for that. You have to be patient.
I've got a little bit more insights. Okay, I know we've been talking a little bit more here. I want to talk a little bit more how important
it's time to
this
dish out
is.
some secrets.
Yeah, it's going to be giving you guys a little bit secrets here because yesterday's dry run we did see a lot of teams kind of competing. A little bit of a tug of war here. I know XP kind of left off a little bit on. So what's a dry run? Okay, so basically, a dry run is kind of like a practice screen. We kind of had a little bit of test here to make sure that the launch party is amazing and all. So we did see some of these teams actually playing full-on competitive, and me and Johnny, we were just chilling and just watching here. We were practicing, and it was like, hey, some of these teams means business. It seems like they're getting ready for something, and I can tell you for a fact, I was definitely caught surprised because, hey, they called me up. Hey, you know what, IC, can you do me a favor? Can you guys pass this honor for me? It's a fun match for you guys. We're going to be having the streamers here. Like, okay, it seems like a pretty fun one. But no, that did not look like a fun match at all. That looked like a full, out for blood, really competitive lobby. That was not an easy lobby to play.
I don't know about you, Johnny, but it was a totally different phone call for me. I mean, I like the fact that they actually asked him that, can he? I was told it's like, XP, there's a thing coming up. You got to be there. I'm like, do I have a choice? They said no. So, I like the fact that he's actually, that they asked him pretty nicely. I'm just messing around. Of course, Crofton's been amazing in this short course of time that I have known them, but it does look like we are going to have a good, long relationship because this game is here to stay. And, looking at how things are going, as he was mentioning that, teams did kind of get a little competitive yesterday. Hey, man, it doesn't matter how big you are, right? When you are playing for something that's on the line, whether it's money or whether it's bragging rights, as we said, everyone is going to put their best foot forward, and that's what we love. We love the fact that, we can all still be one tight-knit community, but oh boy, we can be really competitive.
Exactly. I mean, that is something that we mentioned before as well, since there are going to be those competitive players joined by the streamers in the lineups. There's no way they are going to take this lightly. If there's something on the line, they're going to try and get the victory for themselves. It's at that point, it's just about proving that, hey, I am better than you.
I mean, it comes down to that gamer mentality, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't matter. Yeah, you're going to be playing for fun. We get it. It's a launch party. But the moment those bullets start flying and they're whizzing past your head, it's like, oh, wait a second. You're shooting at me? Hold on 1 second. And, they're going to be retaliating in kind. But again, it's all speculation because the games are going to be underway soon. But Johnny, I think you might have a little something up your sleeves for
exactly. I mean, there have been a lot of interaction with these players before we actually went live with the broadcast. And we have a lot of exciting videos for you guys. So let's take a look at the first one.
Super excited. एकदम लाइक फाड़ देने का इस बार तो नया स्टार्ट सबके लिए मजा आने वाले बहुत
एक्साइटेड बहुत ज़्यादा है। मैं कैसे बताऊं अपनी एक्साइटमेंट, वो भी वर्ड्स के द्वारा तो बिल्कुल भी पॉसिबल नहीं है। और ये समझ जाइए कि तहलका मचने वाला है इस बार तो, बहुत कुछ मज़ा आने वाला है। और जैसे भी ये गेम आया है सो हम लोग अभी से प्रैक्टिस करना स्टार्ट कर चुके हैं गेम को लेकर, और बहुत सारे हम लोगों ने कुछ ना कुछ डिसाइड कर लिया कि हमें ये करना है वो करना है। सो बस अब जैसे गेम लॉन्च हुआ है तो हम लोग अपने अपने तैयारी पे जुट चुके हैं सभी लोग
बहुत ज़्यादा। अभी तो पूरा ग्राइंड बाकी है, मज़ा आने वाला है बहुत ज़्यादा। Very much because I'm going to play again and like Bgmi is totally an awesome game.
मैं इतना ज़्यादा एक्साइटेड हूँ कि
कब अपने हिंदुस्तान का बैटल ग्राउंड आ जाए और मैं खेलने लगूं। और अब वो एक्साइटमेंट एकदम लास्ट पीक पे पहुंच गई कि कब मैं चालू कर लूँ ये खेलना और मेरी ऑडियंस के साथ वो मेरे पुराने लम्हे शेयर करूँ, वही पुरानी बातें, वही पुराने चैलेंजेस करूँ। बहुत ज़्यादा एक्साइटेड हूँ इस चीज़ को लेके।
बैटल ग्राउंड्स इंडिया के लिए तो काफ़ी एक्साइटेड हूँ मैं। फाइनली इट्स हियर एंड आई एम वेरी एक्साइटेड टू प्ले।
Me, Slayer, Daljit, Atanki and Kratos. That's my dream squad.
मेरी ड्रीम स्क्वाड, अगर हम बात करें तो कोई स्क्वाड में 4 प्लेयर्स होते हैं और उसकी कुछ ना कुछ खासियत होती है। सो सबसे पहले आता है IGL। सो आई थिंक जो बेस्ट IGL मैंने देखा है अभी पिछले 1-2 सालों में, सो दैट इज़ मावी। सो मैं मावी को सेलेक्ट करूँगा सबसे पहले IGL के लिए। एंड उसके बाद मैं, अगर भाई साहब क्लोज रेंज फाइट हो गई या फिर M416 के स्प्रे हो गए लॉन्ग रेंज के लिए, सो उसमें मैं देना पसंद करूँगा जोनाथन को। और उसके बाद में जो थर्ड प्लेयर है वो आते हैं स्काउट। और ये जब स्काउट बनेगी ना तो मतलब पूरे एंगल में मज़ा ही आ जाएगा। सब लोग कहेंगे भाई ये क्या हो रहा है।
मैं स्काउट, जॉनी और मावी।
Jonathan, Zigord, Mavi and Scout.
ड्रीम स्क्वाड अगर बोला जाए तो देखो मेरे साथ बहुत सारे बंदे खेलते हैं, उसमें से 3-4 ऐसे गिने चुने बंदे कि मेरे साथ खेले, एक अच्छा गेम प्ले भी हो, एक कॉमेडी भी हो। तो यही मेरा एक बेस्ट ड्रीम स्क्वाड है कि खेलते हुए फ्रेंडली सब चालू रहे, मतलब एकदम फ्रेंडली टॉक रहे, कोई टॉक्सिसिटी ना हो, प्यार से खेले, ऐसे स्क्वाड चाहिए।
Dream squad would be my Orange Rock squad, which includes Vexy, Aditya, Destro, and Gil. So that 4 along with me would be my dream squad.
I'm super excited because it's the first event of BGMI, so I'm gonna win. I'm gonna try hard with my team. So let's see.
लॉन्च पार्टी, मतलब जब लॉन्च पार्टी का इनविटेशन ही आया था, सो मैं तभी से बहुत ज़्यादा एक्साइटेड हुआ कि इतने सारे क्रिएटर साथ में बैठ के खेलेंगे और कैसा होगा वो टाइम। मतलब ये सब कुछ सोच के ही ना बस अब रहा नहीं जा रहा, बस अब लॉन्च पार्टी जल्दी से हो जाए और वो सब पता चलेगा तभी पे।
और बहुत ज़्यादा मज़ा आएगा, मैचेस जो होंगे उसमें बहुत ज़्यादा मज़ा आएगा। अभी तो तगड़ा वाला मज़ा आने वाला है, खूब सारा इंतज़ार था इस दिन का बहुत दिनों से।
Definitely too much excited because बहुत सारे लोग देखेंगे हमें लॉन्च पार्टी में खेलते हुए। एंड सीरियसली व्हेन यू सी अ लॉट ऑफ क्रिएटर्स टुगेदर तो काफ़ी मज़ा आता है देखने में। और जब इतने सारे क्रिएटर्स होंगे तो मुझे लगता है ऑडियंस हमसे ज़्यादा एक्साइटेड ऑडियंस होने वाली है।
एक्साइटेड तो बहुत हूँ, आपको क्या बताओ एक्साइटमेंट क्या है, क्योंकि बहुत ज़्यादा वेट करना पड़ा है हर एक चीज़ के लिए। और जैसे जैसे एक एक चीज़ अपडेट होती जा रही है, जैसे जैसे एक चीज़ पता चलती जा रही है, बहुत ज़्यादा मतलब वेट कर रहा हूँ, मैं ईगरली वेट कर रहा हूँ इस चीज़ का कि कब वो लॉन्च पार्टी हो और मैं देखूँ एग्जैक्टली क्या क्या होने वाला है वहाँ पे।
Launch party is a kind of fun event where काफ़ी सारे बहुत सारे यूट्यूबर्स होते हैं, स्ट्रीमर्स होते हैं एंड अच्छे अच्छे प्लेयर्स होते हैं जो मतलब काफ़ी बढ़िया टूर्नामेंट्स खेले होते हैं। सो we as a streamer we get a chance to play against good players, so I'm very excited. Let's see how it
Number 1 Mortal, Jonathan and Scout.
स्ट्रीमर्स, वो भी 3 इतने सारे अच्छे स्ट्रीमर्स में से चुनना मतलब बहुत मुश्किल टास्क है, पर फिर भी हाँ हम चुन सकते हैं। सो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल मॉर्टल, जो कि बहुत ही ज़्यादा प्यारे स्ट्रीमर हैं, मतलब कभी भी मैंने उन्हें गुस्से में नहीं देखा है। उसके बाद में अगर गेम को लेकर देखा जाए तो जोनाथन फिर से अगेन। एंड तीसरे नंबर पे मेरे फेवरेट स्काउट, जिनका भाई गेम प्ले एक अलग ही लेवल पे है।
इंक्लूडिंग मी, स्काउट, मॉर्टल, रेगल टॉस।
In battlegrounds, I would say Content, Jonathan and Scout.
टॉप 3 स्ट्रीमर्स, मैं एक्चुअली ये बोल सकता हूँ कि मेरे एक मॉडल मेरा एक अच्छा दोस्त है, सो मैं उसको टॉप 1 पे रखूँगा। टॉप 2 पे स्काउट है क्योंकि उसका गेम प्ले मुझे पर्सनली बहुत अच्छा लगता है, और 3 पे हमारे जोनाथन भाई, उनका भी गेम प्ले बहुत अच्छा है।
1 would be Mortal, 2nd Scout, 3rd I'd say Mavi.
फेवरेट गन सबको मालूम DP28। मैप एक ही मैप में मिलती है गन, ऑफ कोर्स इरांगल। दूसरे मैप में जरा लाओ, जरा फायदा होता है मेरा, जरा समझो।
मेरी फेवरेट गन है M416 और हर मैच में अक्सर कैसे भी करके मुझे वो गन लेनी है। और उसके बाद में अगर मैप की बात की जाए तो मेरा ही नहीं शायद जितने भी लोग इंडिया में हैं सभी का भाई एरेंगल ही सबसे फेवरेट मैप है।
Favorite map Erangel and favorite gun M416. Glacier.
My favorite gun is M416 because it's easy accessible and map is Erangel because I know how to play in this map, especially in this map.
M416 मेरी फेवरेट गन है वैसे तो, उस पे 6x स्कोप हो और मेरा स्प्रे देखोगे तो पागल हो जाओगे आप। और एक दूसरी गन भी माय फेवरेट है, मिनी 40।
Map would be Erangel and my favorite gun is M416.
Of course, IND, Team Snacks, keep supporting guys.
लॉन्च पार्टी में जीतना मतलब बहुत मुश्किल सवाल है और जवाब कैसे ही दिया जाए, बट लेकिन जिस हिसाब से हमारी तैयारी चल रही है ना तो 99% चांस यही है कि हम ही जीत के आएंगे और चांस नहीं यही होगा, मतलब कोशिश पूरी रहेगी हम ही जीत के आएंगे।
4 Kings. मेरी टीम जीतेगी।
I guess Team Snacks or Team Jonathan. I'm not sure, but I'm sure one of them.
भाई जीते तो कोई भी, लेकिन एंटरटेनमेंट बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होती है, तो वो मैं तो बहुत ज्यादा लेवल पे दूंगा और बाकी भी स्ट्रीमर्स देंगे, जिसकी गारंटी है।
Obviously, yes.
All right, so that was quite interesting right there. I mean, unlike how the players mentioned they were really excited to play this game, they talked about their favorite weapons, and in the end, that one person right there with the answer, who do you think is going to win? Doesn't matter who wins. I'm going to make sure I'm the most entertaining. I like that.
I mean, that's what it's all about. I mean, he's always actually been like that.
Yeah.
And, if you've been following these streamers for the last few years, you know that, entertainment is something that these guys are going to put a lot of precedence on. I mean, that is important. That is what comes first. The audience always comes first. But it is going to be an exciting day, and these guys are excited. I know about their favorite weapons and maps, but I want to see them in action. I want things to get started. Can someone please get things started? Because I just want to dive right in on the fun.
I know, right? But before getting into it as well here, I must gotta say here, it seems like based on interviews here, most of them are actually talking about Team Mortal seems to be the favorites coming to the in this launch party as well. So I'm looking forward to see whether or not are they gonna be able to live up to the expectations here. That's gonna be something that everyone is gonna be looking out forward to as well. And on top of that, I'm gonna pull this off a little bit, off topic a little bit here. Considering that I do not understand most of the things they're saying here. Call me stereotype, call me whatever. I had a friend who told me before that Hindi's vocabulary is one of the most polite in the world. There are any harsh vocabulary. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is it
Depends
true?
on how you use it. That is what I'm going to say. It is a beautiful language. It's a beautiful language. It's one of the oldest languages in the world. And let me tell you one thing. When it's spoken, it sounds so beautiful. And yes, more often than not, it is polite. It is a polite language, and most of the people in this country are definitely polite. And I wonder how many of you out there watching right now would agree with me. And well, you already know that I'm laughing. I'm smirking. Johnny's already smirking because we have a few words.
No to toxicity, man.
We have a few words in our minds that are already floating around. But yeah, it is a beautiful language. But you were talking about Team Mortal's hype. Let me just take a few names here. And Johnny, I'm just looking at your face to see your reactions. All right. We have Mortal, we have Mavi, we have Scout, we have Regaltoss. I mean, these are big names already. So, I mean, of course, the hype is going to be there. Talk about superstars, talk about stardom. I mean, these guys should be running away with the show. And, well, that's why they're the favorites over here.
Oh, exactly. There are a lot of fans supporting these guys right now. Mortal is he is one of the biggest streamers this country has produced, a big personality as far as esports is considered, as far as gaming is considered in India. And right now with this lineup, as you mentioned, these are the who's who of competitive gaming in this country. So we're going to see, can they prove themselves once again as a unit this time. And XP, you've been waiting for the action to start, right? So we're going to give you what you want. Let's go. The matches are about to begin, and I'm going to ask you guys to take it over. I'm just going to sit back and enjoy the matches.
Thank you so much, Johnny Boy. Well, Icy Baby, this is it. It is time, and I am excited because it is going to be match number 1. It is going to be Erangel, and the best thing is, I have no idea what the map is all about.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I've not seen the map as well, but we did get to see the dry run in yesterday's games. You know, we saw a couple of
There were a
interesting
few
circle pulls as well.
cities,
They actually
yeah.
pulled all the way to the south end, and I was hoping it was going to be the live game here because that was some interesting circle that I actually watched in yesterday's game. So, but coming to this as well, we talk about Team Mortal. Team Mortal is going to be one of our favorites one. But I want to talk about other teams here. You know, Team Dynamo, Team Snacks, Team Croton. I did hear a couple of their names during the interview as well. What are your thoughts on these 3 teams so far?
Well, let me tell you something. So, Team Dynamo, Hydra, as we do like calling them, again, one of the big teams, fairly newer as compared to the other organizations over here as far as the mobile department goes. But again, since it is a new game and they do have a few professional players in their roster, they are going to be packing quite a punch. Now, Team Snacks from games of yesteryears. Now, these boys were part of a squad called Team IND. So, again, they've got a competitive lineup in different games, in different Battle Royale games as well. So, you know, they have that experience of how to play as a squad, as a 4-man unit. And, you know, as far as expectations go, mate, we can't really count anyone out because it's, you know, the fact that they are here in this tournament. They have been content creators, but again, they've been playing similar games for quite a long time. So, you know, they are going to be pretty much ready to go. And I want to go too. I just want to stop talking right now. I want to stop speculating right now. I want to jump on a plane, a chopper, a buggy, whatever it is that this game uses to, you know, drop up the players into the battlegrounds. But I just want to go.
Yo, XP, I'm excited as well. I really want to jump into the traded game, but at the same time as well, I do see in the chats as well, there are a lot of people talking about Team Shreeman here. Seems to be one of the favorite teams coming in as well. Also one of the supporters here. And I'm looking forward here. What are your thoughts here? Because we saw some of these teams actually compete so high as well. And Team Jonathan is going to be one of those teams that actually kind of stick in my mind. I've seen him stream occasionally. He's known to be extremely aggressive. And on contrast to another aggressive player here is going to be Scout from Team Mortal. What are your thoughts? You know, do you think it's going to be a clash between 2 of these teams, or are we going to see the whole lobby just completely just flexing in this game?
I think we are going to have a lot of flexing. We are going to have those clashes because, like I did mention, you know, it's not this particular tournament, this particular launch party isn't going to be something that is going to be, you know, like a make it or break it situation for them because they do want to have fun. But like I said, that game of spirit, you know, it's in all of us, right? Whether we're playing a friendly pub, you know, you get competitive and you always want to make sure that you do better than the other person. So, there's definitely going to be some clashes in this game. And as far as, you know, the tactical viability of the teams go, they are definitely going to be trying a few things up their sleeves. They are going to have some game plans that they are going to try and execute because, again, you know, like I said, they have experience in similar Battle Royale games from before, so it's not going to be something that is really different. But one thing did kind of stand out yesterday, as you did mention during the dry run. A lot of teams went to this one particular city called wait, what was it? Pochinki? Am I saying that right? Pochinki? Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah, definitely. It's called Pochinki. Yeah, Pochinki.
It's like dead smack center of the map, right?
Yeah, I've never seen this kind of maps here. How did they get this name before? I've never heard of name like that before. It's so unique.
Russian vibe.
I
know,
know,
the
right?
Angle map. It's
I
like,
know, right? You kind of want to be Russian for a second, right? You might press the button and might cosplay for it. I would say,
that is correct, my friend.
Whoa. That's a good impersonation.
So, you know, you gotta... Yeah, a lot of places that, you know, you kind of think that, wait a second, is this supposed to be in the game? I believe down south we have something called the Sosnovka military base. So, you know, it's going to be exciting to see if some teams want to jump down and get some big, heavy weapons right off the bat.
Okay,
It is a
so
military base, isn't it?
speaking of aggressive here, now I know you to be the man of the Miramar, I know you to be the man of the sniping game. For this launch party, the first game, do you want to see a head-on clash, you know, or just 3 teams dropping towards one town, or are we going to see like some tactical play where every single team kind of just respects each other's boundary and just meets up in the final circle?
Yes.
Wait, yes, no.
Yes.
I was nodding my head from the beginning. I want to see some action. I don't want to see 3 teams. I want to see 4 teams jump at the same location and battle it out. You know, we have a fan fight that is going to be coming up towards the end of the day. You never know. You might have a fan fight right at the beginning. So, you know, I mean, it all depends on where the teams are going to be dropping, but it all comes down to what the plane path. Wait, do they use a plane or are we going to be using choppers in this game? Because again, I'm like, it's a plane, or it is going to be a plane that is going to be dropping all the players off, and it all depends on the plane path as well, because even if you have an idea, now we do know one thing, Pochinki's in the middle, but I'm pretty sure there are going to be some towns and cities along the edges of this map. So if you want to fly over there, it's going to take some time. So it all depends on a lot of factors. But I guess at the end of the day, yes, we do want to see some early on action. Let me ask you a question: are you interested in seeing an early clash, like right at the beginning, like as soon as the chutes open up, as soon as their feet touch the ground? Do you want to either hear some bullets flying, or do you want to see some pans being swoshed left and right?
I've talked about this since the beginning of the show here. I'm looking forward towards the final segment here. The pan fight is going to be the one that's going to be catching my mind because I've never seen something like that in my life. And having all the teams captains doing head on.
베개에 분대했어. 그랬구나. 키는 작지 않다고 얘기하는데 너희 키는 굉장히 작아. 그랬구나. 진짜 날 통해 다리가 짧지 않고 나는 정말 짧아. 그랬구나. 내 다리는 정말 짧구나. 저희 박현수 중에 너가 형 저 살쪘지 않았어요? 라고 얘기할 때마다 너무 살쪘지 않았어. 너무 살쪘지 않았어. 제가 저희 룸메이트인 슈가한테 좀 밥을 좀 대접하고 싶었는데 이렇게 봐봐요. 남진을 통해 저희 룸메이트인 슈가한테 좀 밥을 좀 대접하고 싶었는데 이렇게 봐봐요. 남진을 통해 저희 룸메이트인 슈가한테 좀 밥을 좀 대접하고 싶었는데 이렇게 봐봐요. 남진을 통해 저희 룸메이트인 슈가한테 좀 밥을 좀 대접하고 싶었는데 이렇게 봐봐요. 남진을 통해 저희 룸메이트인 슈가한테 좀 밥을 좀 대접하고 싶었는데.
It's going to be match number one. It is going to be a wrangle on the back. Behind one each other with the pants. So I wonder if all that training is going to come in handy because, again, like you said, it's the unknown. Even we have no idea what the premise of that particular matchup is going to be. How it's going to be done, where the pan fight is going to take place. Is it going to be a closed circuit, or is it going to be an open map? We have no idea, but it does look like in about 10 seconds, my dear friend.
Yeah,
something is going to happen.
We are going to be heading off into this game right now.
Well,
here because
there
why,
you go.
ladies and gentlemen, here 4-3 heading towards the first map of today. It is going to be the map of Erangel, ladies and gentlemen. Here, without further ado, we're going to be jumping straight in towards the map of Erangel. This is going to be the first ever Battlegrounds Mobile, India's first ever official map draw where all of the professional streamers are going to be competing for a huge prize for it. And to start things off, the flight path will be coming in from the northeast segment, passing towards Rozok in the middle of it all and ending towards the outskirts of Hospital. Seems like a pretty balanced flight path here. Every team's going to be able to head off towards the north side or even the south side as well. Maybe a little bit far from the military base, but what do you think? Are we going to expect tactical drop spots? Are we going to be expecting hot drops here? It seems like the early birds here, we have Team Dynamo already heading towards the Polka, and there are actually a couple teams heading that way as well, XP.
I mean, it's going to be exciting because we do want to see those early clashes. But as far as tactical drops go, I mean, it does look like everyone is going to be dropping off one by one, except, of course, the first couple of teams you mentioned. Looks like Hydra is going to have some company at Lipovka as the remaining teams are going to be jumping out of their planes. Now, of course, a lot of eyes are going to be on a few names. Jonathan's team, for one, is going to be calling Yasnaya Polyana their home, and the fact that they have that all to themselves means that these guys are going to be kitted. They're going to be packed to the gills with weapons and munitions as they make their way to the battlegrounds. Now the question on everyone's mind, there you have it, it's been answered, is where is the circle? And it looks like Jonathan and the boys are going to be happy as they sit pretty much in the center as the circle forms towards the northeast of our map.
Yeah, they have so much room to work with here, but at the same time as well, Hydra, they are kind of split off as well from the team. Raf is going to be taking up of a buggy for himself to kind of regroup his mates here. They are going to be taking a couple of pit stops before actually rotating here. Is this going to be the strategy for some of the teams here? Because it seems like Hydra, they have a clear objective of what they need to do. But meanwhile, Mortal, what's going on? Mortal's out of nowhere, running out in the open. There's no loot whatsoever. What's his game plan right now?
Well, this is an iconic scene, of course. If you know this man, you know this outfit as well from all these years. But it does look like he is going to be trying to make sure that he gets a weapon or two, because finally Sebastian has broken out as Mr. Cyber Squad is going to draw first blood as he does get a knock. But the question is, can he finish it and pretty much get that point for his team? But yeah, coming back to Mortal, I mean, again, they are going for those drastic drops because, you want to make sure that you are away from all the action, as it does looks like Face from GE is going to be brought down, and with that, I see looks like we have our first finish of this game.
Oh, speaking of which, here Mortal is going to be taking a little bit of heavy fire heading into his border town. Seems like we are going to be seeing a little bit of clash between both Team Clash Universe against Mortal and Destro there, taking a couple shots in, but Team Soul seems like they are, I would say, in a little bit of a tough spot, considering that Mortal is a little bit split off with the rest of his mates as well. And this is going to be a tough fight to begin with. And based on the loots here, it seems like Mortal, they are in a very, very awkward position right now.
Now, of course, this fight is taking place just west of Rozhok, Watertown or Water City, as we like calling it. But another thing is, Mortal right now is a little far off from the rest of his teammates, right? But we do know that this team, they're some of the biggest names in the Indian gaming community right now as far as Battle Royale games go. Scout OP, one of the leaders, basically... one of the best players in our country, followed by Mavi, Regalcast, and of course Viper, who is their substitute. But now there is some action breaking out, and it does look like they are going to bide their time, making sure they get all that information, because Orange Rock, man, these guys, these boys from OR, and they're going to be putting all the pressure on them. Of course, this is going to be Team Clash Universe. And again, they did draw first blood, which is something that is going to give them that little bit of a boost, I see. But again, when you go up against the big boys, well, you know what they say, if you come at the king, you better not miss.
Yeah, definitely here. But it seems like they will kind of build it as well. So they are going to be retreating here, trying to loot up a little bit more. But it seems like a lot of teams are kind of stranded out in the open as well, where they don't exactly have weaponries or even utilities to work with. And on top of that, mobility is going to be one of the key components to rotate in, considering that the flag path kind of started towards Yasnaya's positions here. So the circle there is going to be the way to head in for most of the teams, especially from the west side. And we did see a couple of teams actually on the minimap just now, where teams actually rotated down towards the far south as well as Zarki. So that's going to be an interesting strategy coming from content creators here. Is it going to be the smart play here? Is a late drop going to be the play to actually get themselves in a better position, or maybe even lose here?
Look, I guess the thing is, there's no glory in getting knocked out and then getting finished early on. So I guess the name of the game right now is to make sure that you have some sort of kit on you. You need to have a few weapons. You need to have maybe a couple of utilities so that, you can at least do something in case, push comes to shove and you actually take on another team. But right now, except the fact that, we did have that initial skirmish and we did see Fizz from GE go down, I don't expect a lot of firefights to be taking place right now because, like I mentioned, everyone wants to make sure that loot is given priority right now. And the fact that they have an idea where other teams are is something that they're going to be keeping a check on because, once they are confident as far as the loot goes, that is when they are going to attack. And have a look at this. It's going to be like a waiting game as Destro, again, that loot is going to be important because he doesn't have any utilities on him. I see his health is a little bit low and a couple of bullets could spell trouble.
Not just that, he doesn't even have a helmet on top of that here. So one random stray bullet hitting towards his head here, he's going to be popped off and knocked off. And that's going to be not a favorable position he wants to be in. And considering that how the circle is already 6 minutes into this game and without enough utilities here, I'm actually more worried for Team Clash Universe rather than Team Mortal, who initially was in an awkward position, but it seems like they are confident to loot up, and it seems like they won't back out. But Destro, he has perfect sight of this. He's gonna go in for the peak, but he misses the timing, and he's gonna be scouted out, and this is not looking good for him. Meanwhile, the rest of Team Mortal are gonna be providing a suppressive fire. Destro gets one knock in, but they will finally get the knock trade-off. But on the contrary, they will lose 2 in the process for Team Mortal. So it's gonna be a 2v3 here. It's all up to Scout as well as Mortal going up against Clash Universe here. You can see Vector is trying to go in for the assist from behind. Meanwhile, Scout, he is gonna try and regroup his base, try and go for the revive. It seems like Mortal will save the day, and it's gonna be a-okay for now. Destro won't be finished off, and that's gonna be Team Clash Universe losing 1 full finish. Meanwhile, Mortal, they have to go in for the retreat here as Scout. He doesn't have him helmets, he doesn't have vests, and they are playing this extremely slow. How will they do this right now?
Now, I like the fact that, Scout actually provided that cover fire. He did provide the suppressing fire, making sure that the boys from Clash Universe, they are going to be staying put and do not push through, which kind of gave Mortal the opportunity to pick up one of his teammates. Now, the only thing that I was kind of afraid of was the fact that a grenade could have been lobbed in this direction, and that could have spelled trouble as, this team could have gone boo. It looks like that is not going to be the case, as Wexy and Aditya now are going to be trying and pushing up in this house. Now, I like the fact that, we have, like we did mention, we have a lot of popular streamers, and we have a few professional gamers from different games participating, as it looks like IE are coming out in full force with Wexy now. Does spot the enemy. Regaltoss is going to get taken down with that Ratatap on that AK, as looks like Scout is going to go on the outside. But M16 now is going to spot the other one. Wexy's going to get taken down as well. And this is what Scout OP is known for, just obliterating his opposition, as Lithia and Wexy are going to be put on the ground, which means we only have 1 man remaining from Team Clash Universe, and well, that is the leader himself, Clash Universe. But the question is, can he do something now that he is left all by his lonesome?
Oh, this is going to be a tough one here. Meanwhile, a big, massive clutch there coming from Scout. He only had 27 bullets in his F-16, and he's got 2 knocks in the process. What a big win here coming from Mortal. And on top of that, they played it extremely patient. They were under-looted here. What a turn end of the events, because Clash Universe team, they had the upper hand, they had the loot, they had the weaponries, but they just were overrun by sheer numbers. And with the power of friendship, you can achieve anything in that regards. But as of now, Team Mortal, they are going to get stalked here by Clash Universe all by himself. Is this going to be the right play here? XP. Meanwhile, the circle, look at this. The circle is actually already on its way and is heading towards Yasaya. They have to get out of it very, very soon here.
Now the fact that the circle has kind of moved out, I think Seoul is going to be moving out. Team Mortal, they do have a few options over here, but the fact that they are still a 4-man squad means a lot with 3 kills to their names, man. It looks like the emotions are going to be running high, as Blaze Z is going to knock himself out with a vehicle, and that is going to be detrimental on his team. The question is, can somebody else capitalize on that situation? Because, man, that's just a little embarrassing when you kind of knock yourself out. It looks like Clash Universe is going to be in trouble, as Mortal is going to go up. It's going to be a captain versus Captain Clash, as Mortal is going to get taken down. And now with that shotgun, Clash Universe is going to make sure he puts him 6 feet under, as Team Mortal's captain is finally going to be taken out. I mean, I did kind of say that, Team Mortal, they do have options, but it looks like they want to go for that other kill. IC and Clash Universe is 1 man who does not back out, as he does go up against the ranging members of Team Soul, and well, Mavi is going to finally put him out of his misery.
Oh, big clutch for Mavi as well. Right before he goes in for the white sweep ping, he jumps off, throws him off at an angle, dodges the initial shotgun pump, and there was no way Clash Universe could have readjusted that. So that was a very, very big win. But despite that, they did not expect him at all. Mortal will be the first to fall, but Team Mortal will still live on. But as of now, the story continues here. There are 17 teams still in this game. And as of now, we are looking from the perspective of Team Ronak. And they are, pretty split off as well. They've got themselves a really nice compound down to the south side of the circle. It seems like they don't exactly have a lot of information. They're just playing a waiting game as of now.
They are playing the waiting game, and it did kind of look like initially, we did kind of mention Team Mortal. It looks like their mortality was tested out, as it looks like Authenki has spotted the opposition in the distance, and he is going to be wrapping up a few shots with that M4 towards that vehicle. However, those shots are not going to connect. He depletes a magazine, and now the blue zone is going to be doing what it does best, and well, that's a lot of damage. And now Team IND, or rather Team Snacks, are going to be making their way to safety. But again, I like the fact that, a lot of teams, they have taken those early skirmishes as the second airdrop is going to be falling down to the ground. And it has that crowd melter, as I like calling it, the M249.
Wow, speaking of M249 here, who's going to be the one to get it here? Because as of now, Ronak, they're stalking at the loot crate, but at the same time, do they want to go in for the contest? Because as of now, it's going to be an extremely risky play, but it seems to me, Puka, they will scout out teams down a little bit far off. So is this the right play to actually go for it here as well? Because who knows, considering how quickly they can actually rotate between those vehicles here, they don't exactly want to be caught out of position, getting greedy with this M249.
Also, you got to keep one thing in mind. Have a look at your mini-map. The fact that, all members of Team Ronak are basically covering one side, each. That means they have a 360 vigil on their current position. So, kind of sneaking up on them is going to be difficult. But how about that? All the teams are pretty much south of Yasnaya around the shelter and east of the school. Because, again, it's a party. It's a large party. And for a party to be, successful, everyone needs to be together. Now, the question is, are bullets going to be flying and our bodies going to be dropping? Because sooner or later, these guys are going to be going ratata all over each other as the zone is going to shift. It looks like everyone is...
Oh, wow! That's why...
I think they knew. I think they had an inkling.
They've got some serious Esper powers or something, because somehow the circle just moves in their favor and everyone is already in position, and any other team outside the zone right now is going to be having some serious party. Fortunately, from Team Jonathan, they are at the bridge edge of the northern circle. They're going to be fine, but look at this, Team Mortal is still tanking the zone. We've got GE all the way up top. We're just going to be struggling a little bit here to try and find a way to entry. And I don't know, where's going to be the good spot here? Because as of now, we are seeing a lot of long-range fighters as well here. Akshu going to be playing around with the Mosin, the scout out Clutch. God, who's going to be lurking around on the northern section here. Team Jonathan, seems like they do have a rough idea that the southern section of the circle is pretty much very, very occupied here. Meanwhile, on the kill feed as well, we do see Classified actually getting knocked to the zone.
Now that is going to be a bit problematic because I'm going to imagine that, they were getting some pressure from a team, because it does look like the zone is going to do everything on its own, but Paradox is going to be knocking out Devil Race as Hunter Charba is going to get taken down with the play zone as well, which means we have some action breaking out elsewhere as Akshu is trying to make sure he gets an idea of where the enemy is. But now, again, we were talking about the fact that, although all the teams are pretty close to one another, I see, the fact is, they're all going to hunker down in a compound for themselves. So for now, I do believe we still might have a little bit of a stalemate. We might have those long-distance engagements at best, just making sure that you try and deplete the opponent's utilities as far as first aids and, all the boosters go. But right now, I don't really think anything's going to break out unless someone actually goes in for a little bit of a compound push.
I don't know about this, man, XP. Seems like, look at all this, the streamers here. This feels like a full-fledged competitive lobby right now, because everyone's taking it extremely seriously here as well. They don't exactly have utilities. They're understanding the fact that, hey, you want to keep those utilities. You want to keep up with your meds to play towards the long game. In this case here, Team Level 5 is going to be struggling a little bit as well. Dynamo, he's got the level 3 helmet, but he doesn't have first aid. Meanwhile, they do get a couple of trades off as well. Team Hydra, they get a couple of nice knocks in, but can they get those finished, get themselves some kill points? And that's going to be the important one here from Team Dynamo, because they are stalking into it. The guys from Team Guru is going to be out in front of you as well. Team 12 is going to be Team Guru. We have also another team going to be lurking behind here, looking at this booth as well. We have Team Baduk Bas going to be watching as well. So this is going to be a three-way showdown. But fortunately for them, they've got all the time in the world. But the downside is they don't exactly have mats, despite having the compound in their favor.
They don't have meds, and it kind of looks like, initially, it did kind of look like Hydro Dynamo and his teammates were kind of pretty much, engulfed with that other team in the distance, but now they suddenly realize, wait a second, there's someone in our backyard, and the Blue Boss and his team have kind of snuck their way in towards that second compound. Of course, this is taking place just west of the mansion in one of those famous compounds. It looks like Dynamo is still going to be making sure he keeps an eye. Check, wait a second, as there is a flurry of vehicles is driving past. This isn't Fast and Furious. This isn't Mad Max. I mean, what are they doing? They just went between two teams and no one took a single shot of them.
Well, I'm surprised Team Alpha was able to just zip past two teams and completely go unpunished here, and because of that, they're a little bit too late. But the moment they try to make another attempt here, you can see every single team scouts out the compounds that they are going to go in for a couple jabs in, and little did they know, Team 8 as well is going to be Team Qatar. It's going to be out and open, and the Dynamo right now, they realize that that's going to be the better target. But on the contrary as well, everyone's trying to hit towards the zone. They are trying to hunker down with a couple of vehicles or maybe obstacles here to try and set up for the next few fights to come. We are seeing a couple of knocks into the kill feeds, but aside from that, everyone's just trading as much as they can. But little did they know, everyone is chipping away at their meds. In this case, Team Qatar right now is going to struggle in the vicinity. Sangwon as well doesn't have a lot of meds to work with. Darkness pretty much only has one first aid. Meanwhile here, Team Croton is pretty much gatekeeping everyone who tries to rotate from south side. Look at this, how healthy they are. He's got 4 first aids. They have got a lot of vehicles on top of that rotate in. I don't know, it seems like they've got a clearer picture. It's not about getting those kills. It's about bleeding out resources.
That's what it's all about. I mean, if you want to make sure that you get the finish off, you knock someone down, you got to make sure you deplete their resources before you go in for the push, which is exactly what Team Content is all about. And it looks like now, since they do have to find some greener pastures in the news circle, they are going to move in, but they aren't going to be overextending too much. They are going to still be at the edge of the circle because they have this nice little slope to work from, as it does look like God Nixon is going to have an idea that someone could be sneaking behind that vehicle as a high grenade has been lobbed. But the question is it going to do any damage? Yes, it does. Beautifully lobbed. This goblin is going to get taken down by Sarung, and now the cover fire does come into that Sarung. He's trying to make sure he blows up that vehicle and secures his finish.
That is a very, very long nade here coming from God Nixon's team here, because that was super, super unexpected, and that was a beautiful knock. Because of that, they're going to be able to punish the members coming from Team Guru, who's kind of stuck in a very awkward position with all those folks in, and little did know there's just more and more teams creeping in their way here. And we have Team Tam, Team Croton as well, going to be jumping in, going to be carrying a couple shots in. Sarang will get the finish on top of that, so there's going to be finish points going in towards their favor. Meanwhile, on the southeast side here, we have Team Maxern, arguably one of the stronger teams based on yesterday's dry run, has not shown their fangs for a number of time here. Finally showing up on screen for the first time here. They've got one finish thus far. They're gatekeeping every single team. And look at this, they've got perfect line of vision for all these kind of long range fights here. And this is not looking good for any team out in the open right now. And look at this, Aladdin, oi, 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 he almost got chipped off.
I mean, he almost rubbed that magic lamp, and the genie was going to grant him his wishes, but looks like it's going to be a different story. But, you know, I do kind of agree with you that they are going to be chipping off at the opponents right now, but the circle, once it moves, oh boy, all eyes are going to be on that team. But right now, Gopet, he does spot the enemy. He does take a few shots. His teammate, in fact, helping him out, making sure that the enemies are going to be kept at bay, as now they do have the circle for themselves in this particular position. They have that little dip that is going to be working out for them, especially at one end, since they have Croton and the boys pushing up. And at the other end, we do have another team that is trying to wreak some havoc, but it looks like some long-range shots coming in, and Sensei does get a few shots, but Scout from afar laying down the herd. And now again, Team Mortal is going to have to move into the circle as well. So it's going to be exciting. It's going to be a literal dash for the circle, and well, we might just see some vehicular manslaughter as Neo is going to get blown to bits as God. Well, Z-God just kind of blew himself up. That is going to be hurtful.
It seems to me Team Mortal here, they have been laying low. They've got themselves 4 finishes on top there on the east side. And right now, they're continuing their assault here. They're pushing forward as well. Ronak actually needing himself here. Yeah, a little bit of a panic button right there, because Scout was just applying so much pressure from the west side. And because of this, that's going to be the opening for them to shift into the next phase zone. And they're going for their push here. Mavi, they're going for the clean house as well. They're hearing all these shots. They're hearing all these chaotic moments here from this northern section here. Everyone's down the hill, and everyone is not in the safety of their cover as well. There's just so many teams dishing out the bullets here. It is madness right now, and this is not going to be an easy fight here. Meanwhile, Team Water looking very calm and composed, choosing the fight as quickly, as smartly as they can. As Content will try and take a couple jabs in towards guys from God Nixon, and that's going to be 2 knocks in the process. Last man standing is going to be Prince, laying low in towards the smoke here. Will he managed to get a reset here, because right now Team 10, they are not in prime position as well, and the circle are closing in. Everyone needs to rush in, but they are going to try and go in for the reset. Meanwhile, they are just teams pulling out and open, using those vehicles for those covers here.
Man, it's like a free-for-all right now. Anyone can take anyone as Cronton is going to make sure Prince is going to be knocked out with a grenade as Pakar gets a knock off the zone. The question is, however, can they convert these knocks into finishes? Because every single finish will give them 1 point for this team as Nuclear with that DB28 is going to put K18 out of his misery as Rishabh is going to get taken down as well. Now Punk does spot the enemy, and that is at quite some distance. Bandupaz was spotted at the periphery of the zone. In fact, he is going to lay down some lead with that M4. A couple of shots do connect. However, his opposition, his target, in fact, is going to move out of harm's way. But now Revitos has spotted Toxic Singh, and he is going to get taken down with a rattle of bullets from that AK. And now Revitos making sure the right flank is secure as far as Team Mortal is concerned. But again, it is a little chaotic. It is a little free-for-all-esque. And, well, anything can happen as bullets are flying all over the place, I see. And, well, bodies are definitely hitting the floor.
Yep, Team Mortal right now. Oh, Regalto just cleans out there. And that's going to be 2 down. Down towards the last final 9 teams here. Team Mortal, they've got 6 finisher. They had the roughest start. And right now, they're here to party at the launch party, ladies and gentlemen. Here. Meanwhile, the game continues here because the circle is going to push them out. They have to go in towards the east side. They're trying to clear every single angle. But on the top side as well, there's just so many teams around them. And Scout will be the first one to scout ahead here. Seems to me he's going to be safe for now. And he's trying to check every single corner where some of these teams are. And as you can see, Team 30 Sangwon is pretty much smack middle of the circle, laying low down to the kitchen. They're pretty much out in the open here. But as of now, it's working out for them, considering how mad all these players are from all around the mountains here.
The best advantage that Team Mortal have right now is the fact that they have their backs to the wall right now. There is no one who is going to be coming in from behind them. So all they've got to do is make sure they keep a good vigil straight dead ahead. Now Team Ronak, they have the work cut out as they do have a vehicle to play around with, but they have to make it the circle. And you know one thing about vehicles, they make a lot of noise as you are driving in and around willy-nilly, and it's going to catch the eye of a lot of people, but they do make it to cover in time right now. Mortal is already deployed, making sure it conceals their position. But it does look like everyone is going to make their way to the circle, and right in the center we have one team which is going to be fending off against everyone as Rayed is going to take down oh my goodness, a big grenade almost knocking out Team Ronak off their feet.
Oh, as you can see here, Team 20 here, they are trying their best. Team Rona, they're trying their best with going for the reset, but they're just getting so many suppressed by Sangwon, getting for a cheeky angle, trying to finish on first of the vehicles. Is he going to be able to get the 2 double finishes? He's trying his best, and that's going to be another knock here, and Sangwon will get the job done. Rona, they're going to be in some disastrous position here. Meanwhile, they've still got 2 available, but they are going to be sending it to them here, coming from Team Sangwon. But meanwhile, Mortal playing slow. They've got 6 finish. They've got the information. They're checking every single corner here, getting extremely aggressive here, trying to clear off the northern angle. Meanwhile, creeping up on the southern side here is going to be Kratos and the members as they are slowly creeping to the next fight here. Snacks looking to go in for the punish, but unfortunately, he won't get knocked in from the northern section here. Mortal is going to go bananas on them, and they've got the high ground. They're going to go to punish here, and Rogaldo's actually getting caught off. Oh my goodness, Ray!
Wait a second, he was hit off. It looks like amongst all this commotion, amongst all this chaos, Mavi in fact had his vehicle and ran over the opposition, but finally is going to get taken down as looks like Scout Loki is going to be one of the last few members remaining on his feet from Team Mortal. But again, the audacity that Mavi's driving a vehicle, running over his opponents at this stage of this game is just amazing, as Scout Loki is finally going to succumb to his injuries as the play zone is going to snuff his light out. But it looks like Doc is going to get a little bit of compensation over here as he does get that airdrop. But now Team Snacks, they do pick up their fallen comrade, but now Kratos has gone down, and the fact that they still have all 4 members alive is just astounding.
Yeah, Snacks here, they're doing a fantastic job checking every single corner as well. Then they were on the south side on the aggression here. They've got a lot of leeway to push in, and because of this, they're slowly sneaking behind the members coming in from Team Croton. And right now, Croton, he is pretty healthy here, but he's lost a couple of members in his vicinity, and right now needs to check those trees. Hopefully he's going to be able to connect. Croton gets hacked up a little bit more, but Damges, he takes off his back. He's going to try and camouflage into the grass here, try to stake his way in. Meanwhile, Sangwon, they've lost 2 members, but a couple of stray bullets from across will catch him off, and that's going to be Team Snacks going to be pushing up the pressure. They are going to try to finish them off here now, making the nades here. Last 4 teams coming in the backs as well. As you can see, they're trying to check every single corner. Stacks, they're in prime position. They've got 6 finishes here. And Stacks getting knocked down once again as Croat won't get traded off. And that's going to be a big one for them. As Team Stacks, they're pretty healthy. They can go for a reset, but the circle is itching away. They're closing in very, very slowly as well. Dante is going to be taking the vision with the buggy, try to scout this out. And Lambo gets scouts out. And that's going to be down towards the final 3 teams. Patience has paid off. Sangwon, they were in the middle of the commotion. And this is going to be the final 3 teams, the calm before the storm. As soon as they safety here, as you can see, 249 just shredding them off. Oh my goodness, Dark! And he gets straight out with a nade!
It looks like Dark is bringing the storm with it into 4-9. He did speak a bit too soon, but now the double grenade is going to make sure that he's knocked off his feet, and Snacks is going to be capitalizing on those kills. But now Team Snacks again, they do have 2 members down on their knees, but this is a team that is versatile. These guys can do anything, and the fact that Snacks is trying to slowly creep up towards his teammate is something that we could see a little ray of hope coming in at the end. But now Diljit, now we all know what this man can do. He is going to go up against the last man standing from Team Songwon. It is going to be the captain himself, but Songwon gets spotted from elsewhere as Raid tries to put him out of his misery, but it's going to be Diljit, in fact, who comes in and snuffs his lights out. And with that, they are going to add another finish to their name. And this man is not done yet. He does have the option to pick up his teammate, but he forgets that for a second and gets another knock to his name, which means we are down to the final 6 teams, final 6 players, I beg your pardon. And it's going to be a 4-man Team Snack up against the last man standing from Team Cronton. And that man is Noah King. And looks like that is it. That is all she wrote. And with that, we have the end of the first game and the first ever winner chicken dinner in Battlegrounds Mobile. India goes the way of Team Nax. Boom!
Yep.
That was awesome.
That was really, really tactical coming from Stacks. They played it extremely patient. They chose their fight as quickly as they can and smartly as they can as well. They don't overpick themselves to put them into a very, very awkward position. But if you want to compare with another team who kind of put themselves in a very awkward position, it's going to be Team Sangwon, because literally, getting surprised by every single angle, they still made it in the top 3.
They did, and in fact, they were the kings of the hills for quite a long time, because the last fight took place on a little bit of a hillock, so to speak, and they were at the tippity top for about a good 2 to 5 minutes. But then again, that was the pressure, because they were picking fights with everyone. They had to make sure that each and every member from their unit, was basically fighting his own battle. So again, I guess they just overdid themselves. But Team Snacks, that clinical finish, again, making sure all 4 members are alive till the end. Now, we've seen this in the past in different Battle Royale games, I see. This team, they are pretty much the same team that, we've been seeing for a couple of years now. So, I mean, that camaraderie and that tight ship unit that these guys are running just was on display for us. And again, clinical finish, amazing day, and what a way to start off this launch party. I love it.
I was expecting something even like aggressive from the get-go, but everyone is playing super, super tactical. They were super smart in the fights as well. Everyone is just playing at the tippity top of I would say, the game itself, because despite being a brand new game, how can they play at that level? That was just unreal here. But here, let's talk a little bit more towards the highlights here. I want to talk about one of the biggest fights that kind of caught my attention. It's going to be the guys from Team Mortal, because they had the worst start in the game. And despite having one of the worst start, they managed to create the final circle. They were conquering everyone from the west side of the zone, and they were able to just somehow pull a big win. And even this clip here as well, Scout, he was able to clutch off with a double kill, a double finish with the M16 with 27 bullets on top.
Again, you keep one thing in mind that, when you have an animal that is cornered, that is when it is most dangerous. And when Team Mortal were cornered in that house, that is when it was their time to shine. Now, Scout, of course, jumping out from that building and making sure he puts Clash Universe in the ground, that was just phenomenal. But again, a lot of action did break out. And this is what we were talking about right towards the end. Have a look at that. In the last couple of circles, I see, we still had 14 teams that were vying for the chicken dinner. But again, it did only go one team's way. But again, a lot of cross connections over here. Like I did kind of mention, a little bit of a free-for-all, as Ronak is going to be taken off his feet right now, courtesy of Songwon, who, again, like you did mention, we're pretty much in the center for quite some time. But I think it's a beautiful start to this game. And judging by the way the teams have played, I think they're ready for this game. I think Battlegrounds Mobile India is the next big thing.
I definitely agree here. Seeing all the teams that's playing thus far, seems like everyone is actually preparing to play on a competitive level as well. And despite having the launch party right now in first game. I was expecting something a little bit fun here. We're gonna see a little bit of trolls here and there, but everyone is here going for blood. They're playing as tactical as they can. They resolve interesting strategies, and yeah, of course, going for the moolah. And it seems like the trend of going competitive might be a sign here. I know Johnny kind of leaked it a little bit here, but it feels like the players themselves, they kind of know it as well. So I don't know.
I believe that Johnny is, because I actually have a few questions for him as well. Because he was kind of, like you did mention, he did let the cat out of the bag. He did let loose a few secrets. But let's actually bring him on. There he is with that smug look on his face. So Johnny, what did you think of the very first match of Battlegrounds Mobile India, the most highly anticipated game of the year?
Ooh. I mean, it was intense. I was just sitting back watching the match, and I agree with Icy. I mean, even I thought it was going to be really fun. The players are going to take.
Ain't no fun in war.
Yeah, that was not fun at all. That was sweaty. That was so sweaty.
I mean, it got really, really intense straight right out of the bat. I mean, the early game fights to the late game finish, the way it sort of came down to the conclusion, it was really, really intense. But the intensity is not going to end. As you guys have been talking about it, I mean, you've been saying like, oh, I was tossing out hints right, left, and center about stuff that might be coming. Well, we do have a surprise plan. We do have a surprise plan for our audience and for you guys as well, for the both of you. I believe it's going to make you really, really happy. Yeah, but it's going to take a while. Again, you have to be patient. Everything will be revealed at the right nick of time. You have to wait.
You've been so patient so far as it is, because we've been waiting so patiently for this.
Knocks into the kill feeds, but aside from that, everyone's.
It's finally here. The day is finally here, and you're still going to keep some secrets.
I'm an evil man.
Wow.
I'm an evil man. I like chaos. I like when my
It's not about chaos. Sometimes in a relationship you want to